Good afternoon, friends, followers, channel members. How are you all? Hope you're doing very, very well. Happy Wednesday. We are here in Naples, and I've really been looking forward to finally getting around to do this. I say finally. I've had this mini FCU unit since Monday, I think, and I've just been dying to actually do a proper full flight on VATSIM with it, just to see how it handles sort of in a sort of real context environment, live on VATSIM, live on stream. And so yeah, today's the day, and we've got a nice decent length flight as well, about an hour and 40 minutes flight time as we head to Mykonos. I haven't done Greece for a long time, and the Greek Isles, of course, they don't have straightforward approaches, so we've got the option of an INAV approach or a VOR approach, which is not something we do too often, not that they're very difficult to perform in an Airbus, of course. So they are there are options today. There's also the option of the circle to land visual if we need it. That all depends on the winds, although it's going to be dark when we get there, and I kind of get the feeling that we're not allowed to do that in the dark there, but we'll have to check the charts in a little while and see what it says. But either way, it should be a fun stream. We are in the FlyByWire A32NX. We're in a Neo aircraft today, purely because just for the first outing of the mini FCU, I just wanted full functionality basically to enjoy that. So yeah, there we go. That's it. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So we're going to be with you for 2 or 3 hours, and hopefully give you some good afternoon entertainment, whatever it is you're doing, whether you're still at work, working from home, or pretending to work from home. Anyway, good afternoon to our amazing channel members and all you guys supporting us. Hey, the legend Dark Fury, who just happened to be first. Thanks, Dark. Elliot, sorry you're just heading off to work. Gutted you're going to miss this, Elliot, but hopefully see you next time. Nolex, Dan, fourth. Seriously, guys. Technically, I was first, by the way. Zara2411, good afternoon to you. Dave Butler's here as well. Barney Arks, hello, mate. Thank you so much for joining us. Good to see Klaus out here as well. All Man Shaggy, hello, guys. And everyone else, Flyboy John as well. And a big shout out to every one of you who's entered the chat, joining us, ready to start our flight today. The operational flight plan pinned into the chat if you are watching on YouTube, as per usual. Noah, thank you for subscribing, and a shout out as well to those of you watching over on Twitch as well this afternoon. Now, I am quite limited in my sort of setup here, bearing in mind I never, ever, in my wildest dreams, ever thought about becoming a sort of YouTube streamer. So when it comes to sort of setting up with regards to cameras and whatnot, so that you can sort of see my hands fiddling away with the mini FCU. I have not got one of those set up, although once we are in cruise I am going to try something which could go very wrong, but we'll play around with that a little bit later on. The legend Dark Fury kicking off our stream as well today with an Easyjet in Pilot channel membership gift. Thank you so much, Dark. Gifting membership is definitely one of the best ways to support the channel. Thank you so much. That is a reason you are a legend, isn't it, Dark? And Mona, welcome to channel membership, as I say, gifted by the amazing Dark. So thank you so much. Right, well, we, as I say, I should be in for a nice flight today. We have got gorgeous scenery as always here in Naples. It's a lovely approach. We've got Vesuvius over to our left as you sit there on screen, and the sun is starting to drop low in the sky. It's going to be a nighttime arrival as well, so it should just look absolutely beautiful. Let's look at getting ourselves on board, going through the flight, and getting out of here as soon as we can. Xavier, thank you so much for subscribing as well. Right, let's get on board, shall we? Get out of here before the sun sets. Okay, so here we are. RD Presets says Naples Airport is where we're currently at. Don't believe we've got any air traffic control knocking about this afternoon, but that's okay. There is currently air traffic control in Greece, however. Whether that will still be there when we get there, well, that's a different matter. So aircraft in its turnaround state as per usual for this time of day, so we just do the usual checks, make sure that logo lights are on. We've got the thrust levers, spoilers, flaps, parking brake is on. That should be set to 2000. Standby. Acupressure is good. That's fine as well. Pop constraints on up there. Alright, so let me just have a quick look on the overhead. We've got the pumps off, that's fine. Seatbelt signs are off, that's good because we need to refuel in a moment. And I think that is the overhead's good. Let's have a look then. As I say, we don't have any we don't have any ATC. I'm just double checking. No, we don't. Okay, so in order to get the METAR, we'll come over here, see what we've got. So winds are variable at 2 knots. I should point out that the operational flight plan has got us departing on runway 06. Ignore that. We're departing runway 24, of course. Runway 24 in use today. So winds are variable at 2. It's 10 kilometers or more. We've got a few clouds, 3,000 feet. Temperature 18, QNH is 1005. Later, what do I use for the performance calculations? I will show you a little bit later on what I use for that. It is a program called SimSmart. This is not the new A320neo. No, this is FlyByWire. Sticking with FlyByWire. I don't have the beta build. I just don't touch beta builds. I wait for the final versions. Yeah, so that's all well and good. So let's crack on with setting up 1005. That's fine. Audio control panels on Unicom. Are we monitoring the guard frequency? Yes, we are. Switching panel, engine starter, mode selector, yada yada yada. That's all fine. Yeah, that's fine as well. Wonderful. Okay, let's then have a look at our operational flight plan. Then we'll decide how much fuel we're going to take. So, what we got? We're about 12 tons of payload, underloaded by nearly 10 tons, so we've got loads of space. So this flight is a real-world route that Easyjet fly. However, they only fly it in the summer, so it's not actually flying at the moment. But yes, this is a real-world route. It just means we're using our channel default call sign Alpine 34 Alpha Mike today. Cost index of 8. Well, it shouldn't be 8, should it? It should be 4, but never mind. We'll stick with 8 today. Cruise flight level 300 there. We're actually going to be cruising flight level 390. That's just the initial climb, flight level 300. Trip wind, tailwind of 3. That's pretty negligible then, isn't it? So as I said, yeah, it's got runway 06, but actually it's not. It's runway 24. Still uses the same departure, however, so that's okay. We'll check the charts for that in a moment. 629 miles, plug fuel about 5.2 tons, CNR for the alternate, which is Athens, 1.7. So if anything starts to go wrong around 2 tons, we'll start to think about what we're going to do and where we're going to go. Hey Leanna, hope you're well. Let's have a look at the departure route. All route's fine, grid model looks fine. About 50 minutes into the flight, terrain is probably at the highest beneath us. And then what have we got getting in? So we'll need to keep an eye on this tailwind component, crosswind component, etc. It's got us landing on runway 16. I want to get on runway 34 just because 34 is easier. So let's have a look and see. Shooting a big jump face, FlyByWire, it is same thing. Yeah, well, we're probably not going to get into that today. 3XA, you've just opened the sim and found that they've added the A320 version 2. Really? I hadn't seen that. But anyway, we're here now in the FlyByWire. I'm going to support the FlyByWire because FlyByWire had been with us since the very, very beginning, and it's just amazing everything they've done for the world of flight simulation, particularly Microsoft Flight Simulator, so definitely sticking with them. So the weather there is looking fine, ceiling 2,000, visibility 5,000 meters, so that's all well and good. What's the forecast say? What is the date? It's the 22nd, so weather there at the moment is fine. Looks like winds 170 at 12 knots. Okay, so as long as that doesn't start to edge above 50, we'll be all right. But I'll want to check. I will need to do a landing calculation when we're en route, just to make sure that we can get in if we have got a bit of a tailwind. Because I can't recall how long the runway is at Mykonos, but I don't imagine it to be too long. So let's have a look at the forecast. Slight chance of Towering cumulus clouds, 1,800 feet, visibility dropping down to 5,000 with rain. That should be after we've arrived though, so probably don't need to worry too much about that. And I'm not going to worry about Athens at all. Athens fine with its ILSs and big long runways. So, so there we are. Okay, so let's just have a look. Have we got anything else need to worry about? No TAMs, no TAMs. Can't see anything there that. Aerodrome control serviceable, no radar. Okay, never mind. Lots of stuff here that actually doesn't matter in the simulator. Standards and departure. Speed limit above a dopa is 50 knots per hour. Okay, that doesn't apply to us. Vexus 7 Golf, that's not the departure we're doing, so that's okay. Approach procedures. Oh, that's interesting. So the current ILS runway 24 is unserviceable at the moment. Right, interesting. So if we do need to get back in here, we can't just ILS our way in. To be fair, if we need to come back in here, then what we might do is an offset approach. Is it offset for runway 06? I think it might be. So that's, that could be interesting. And then we've got lots of NOTAMs for Mykonos, which we'll read en route if we think about it. So let's have a look all the way down. There's a lot of NOTAMs there. This is our weather then. That's our flight route. What have we got? CBs, embedded CBs, yeah, normal stuff. Right, basically embedded CBs for the entire journey. Okay, well, given the relatively good weather, we probably don't need to take too much extra fuel. I would think that, what's that landing weight going to be? 56. I think we could quite happily throw an extra ton of fuel on just in case. And the reason I'm doing that is because if it's dark, for whatever reason, we can't get in at the airport. Because I don't, just quickly look, can we get in on the circle to land, east runway, not authorised, not authorised. So does it say that we can't do anything like that on? No, there is somewhere, I've forgotten where it is, there is an airport, one of the Greek islands, that you can't land at night time, or you can't do the circle to land at night time, it's daytime only. It might not be here. So it might not be here. It's just not authorised east of the runway there. So okay, well, looks like we should be able to get in regardless, but yeah, let's throw an extra ton on board. So we'll take 6.2 tons of fuel. I'm not paying for it anyway, so now GSX is not responsible for the fuel here, so I can just type in 6200. That's on real time, so there we go. As for the payload though, let's here we go. I'm going to download that, and I believe GSX are now going to start and load our aircraft. GSX payload syncs sorted. Now I can never remember if I have to do. Oh, there we go. We have to request boarding there, and that starts it, doesn't it? Lovely. Well, oh yeah, there they go. Look, wonderful. Okay, refueling panel is open, refueling's underway, we're good. Let's start setting up the box then. So, just check the usual stuff. IRS, we've got 3.5 greens, aircraft status, LEAP engines, valid air cycle, yep, good. Okay, init request. Italian young fan, you've seen people have severe stutterings with this plane. What, with the FlyByWire A32NX? I've never had a problem with it. That's not to say others haven't, of course. Okay, all that stuff has been brought in. Ground temperature is 18, so we'll just quickly update that. That's the tropopause on the operational flight plan. Check that out. 33826. There we go. And grab the winds. I'm just going to update the flight level as well, because we are going to cruise at flight level 390 today. And just check my IRS in it. 40521. Yep, and 14176 east. Yep, that is stand 54, I think we're at today. I've not got a sign. I'm sure we're at 54. That's where I spawned in at anyway. Okay, so let's have a look at the departure. As I say, we are going to take runway 24 for our departure. It is the Galaxy 7 Golf. Insert, and then the arrival, we're going to go with the RNAV 34 for now. That comes in on the Key 1 Papa arrival. And what via is it? It comes in via Bismo, I think. So that's got 658 miles down there in the box, and we've got 629 miles there. Yeah, the distance. The reason is because the plan, I think, has got us in on the opposite runway. So let's just do a check and make sure that this is all right. Yeah, that's the departure straight out. 6,000 feet for Gemma. Oh, just clear the discontinuity. And that looks interesting. Hang on, what we got there? Right, that's taking us straight in. Yeah, there you can see why we've got some extras. We've got Bismo in there twice and then Mykonos. My plan would be to do not Bismo to Mykonos, but instead Bismo straight down to Bikby as part of the INAV procedure. So let's just clear out Mykonos, clear out second Bismo, join that up, and that should look much better. Yeah, distance has dropped down now. That's the arrival. Happy with that. Refueling still underway. Wonderful. Let's crack on then. So happy with that. The RadNav page. We'll pop Naples in, and onto the init B page. So zero fuel weight. What have we got? So plan zero fuel weight is 54. Call it 54.6. C of G is planned to be, the zero fuel weight C of G, sorry, is 32.3. Always round it up. I am just tapping away and putting this into the box while you're watching the screen here. Right, so the fuel planning has got 4.9, and we are taking, how much fuel did I say we were taking? I've completely forgotten now. Have they finished? 6.2. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? 6.2. I normally write it down. I completely forgot. So let's update that. Which gives us a takeoff weight of 60.6 tons. Alternate fuel is, call it a ton. Bomb Tech, at least you were listening and paying attention. Thank you. There we go, and that gives us an extra 31 minutes of thinking time, doesn't it? Oh, we need to put the trip wind in this box as well, which is a tailwind of 3. Will that make much difference? Probably not. It's not the longest of flights. There we go. Oh, dearie, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting us. Okay, that's all done. Let's have a look at our performance then. Right, so someone was asking me how we do the performance calculations for this aircraft. We use SimSmart. Runway 24. It is dry. Anti-ice will be off. Takeoff weight 60.6. What was the C of G? C of G is planned 32.4, so that means that's normal, isn't it? Yes, greater than 27% standard. Thrust flex. Config 1 for departure. Packs will be off. Calculate the speeds. There we are. So V1 128 128 132. Transition altitude 8,000 feet, and thrust reduction acceleration is 1217, as is acceleration and engine out.
Hello. I'm right next to her. Thank you.
Flex of 69. Yeah, long runway. We're not very heavy, and it's dry, so nice high flex. Flaps 1. Oh dear, is it the first time you've seen us online? Oh, on a live flight. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad you enjoy the YouTube stuff. Great that you've caught us live as well, so thank you for that. Bombtech, this calculator, the A320neo performance calculator, there's a link in the video description if you want to check that out. Right, okay, what else have we got? So, the engine out procedure here. Now, of course, the secondary flight plan in the FlyByWire doesn't work. So, it's a non-standard engine out procedure here, which is basically at 3,500 feet, we're going to fly to Izquierdo, where we'll enter the hold. So, in order to facilitate that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a fix info on here, pop Izquierdo in there, and then if we need it, what, did I spell that wrong? Yes, I did. What is it? IS? Oh, Kia as in the car. There we go. Then if I need it, we've got it, because that should now be available to us on the navigation display. There it is. Yeah, so it's pretty much straight out on runway track, and hold it is Kia. Okay, let's get the charts up and we'll go through a few things then. So let's brief the departure. Let's have a look. The departure is a left-hand turn, isn't it? Almost immediately after takeoff. Max speed is 185, so we're probably going to do that in flaps 1. Let's just have a look at our performance speeds. 187 is slats retraction, so yeah, we're that light. So we'll hold 185 knots, which we could just do that in manage, couldn't we? But I will pre-select it. Depart hold 185, so it's going to be flaps 1 in that initial departure. Initial climb is 6,000. Right, we can go and send this. Look, I don't know if you can hear the clicking, but this is my mini FCU. That feels so good. So that's done. And then the departure itself. Oh, we've got a Sorrento VOR as well. We can probably use that in the RadNav page. We've got that. Hard tuned as well, Sorrento, and then we'll be going to flight level 110 at Galti, MSA 8,400 feet. Alright, so I think the box is now all set up. Let's actually do a proper brief. So, nothing to say about the weather. We've got light variable winds. It's departing runway 24. Anti-ice will be off for departure. It's a nice dry runway. Weather en route, few isolated embedded cumulonimbus clouds en route, so we'll avoid those, obviously, if they're in our way. Aircraft is type A320neo. It's the FlyByWire A320neo. A couple of things in op. I don't have SimBridge running, so with no terrain radar, which we probably wouldn't want to fly around here, although it's VMC condition, so we'd probably be okay. So with no terrain radar, with no weather radar, secondary flight plan is also in op as well. No times that affect our departure. However, if we need to get back in here, ILS 24 is unserviceable. Threats to be aware of: the biggest one, of course, is Mount Vesuvius, which is just here. So we've got terrain all around to the east of the airport. So if anything goes wrong, yeah, we're straight out sort of in a southwesterly direction to keep safe over the Mediterranean. The departure itself, taxi, etc. We are parked stand 5-4, so we'll push facing north on Tango Sierra. Actually, the performance, I forgot about this, the performance figures I've just done is for a full-length departure at Gulf. We could have gone for an intersection departure, but I'm going to leave it. We've gone for full-length figures now, so we might as well stick with it. Yeah, so we'll depart full length, so that's holding at Gulf runway 24. As soon as we've departed, then it's noise abatement to departure. The initial manoeuvre is a left-hand turn. 185 is pre-selected. We'll fly all this at flaps 1. We'll remain in flaps 1 until we pass Gemma. 6,000 feet is the initial climb. MSA is 8,400. Once we've passed Gemma, then we can accelerate away, clean up, and probably go direct to Galti, and we'll start climbing to our cruise. Going through the box then, so you guys can cross-check all of that information. Runway 24 is in the Galti 7 Golf is in there. Radnav is set to do the Naples and the SOAR VOR. 390 is available to us right from the off, so that's fine. V-speed 128, 128, V2 132, transition altitude 8,000 feet, thrust reduction acceleration 1,220 for all of those, same as the engine out acceleration. Flex departure today 69, flaps 1, and we have a takeoff weight of 60.6, which is below the maximum landing weight, so if we do have an emergency and need to get back in, we don't need to worry about being overweight for landing. That is everything. Engine out procedure, just quickly touch on that once more. It's a non-standard procedure. Basically, we carry out straight on runway heading, and then when we're at 3,500 feet, we'll just go direct to Ischia, where we'll enter the hold, and we will get safe at 5,000 feet. That waypoint is over the sea, so we will be safe there. Right, job done. Is everyone on board yet? I think they might be, you know.
Naples traffic is the 81 Papa, taxi into runway 06 via Tango Sierra Bravo and Alpha.
Oh, that's interesting. It's going 06. The only reason I know that 24 is in use in real life is just because I checked on FlyByWire A320NX. Yeah, so we'll obviously be going on, as I say, we'll be going on 24 for our departure. So, I think everyone's done. We'll start getting that APU started. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone's on board.
Wonderful, thank you.
No problem.
Right, APU started, refueling's completed. We'll just wait for that to sort itself out. Whilst I'm doing that, a quick PA to the passengers and everyone. Welcome all on board. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Easyjet flight from Naples to Mykonos. We should be looking to push back in the next 5 minutes or so. Today's flight will be cruising at 39,000 feet. We shouldn't have any departure delay or traffic ahead of us, so we should have a nice short taxi straight out. We've got good weather ahead for the entire flight as well, with no en route delays. So if you can get yourselves sat safely down with your seatbelts fastened, the cabin crew will prepare the aircraft for departure. I will be pushing back as soon as we can. Thank you. Let's wait for that APU, give that a minute, there we go. So APU is up and running, pumps can come on. External power, let's get that disconnected then. See what signs on. Prepare for pushback and departure. Alright, so cockpit preparation checklist. Aircraft acceptance has been completed. The fuel quantity is 6.2 tons, and that's balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. It is. We've got 3.5 green. Barra F. QNH is 1005, 2,800 feet.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Richard, self-loading cargo is the cabin announcement. Joseph Bluebird, 123. Hello. Right, who's going to close the door for me? Because this door's still open. Do I have to do that?
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
So there's the chart.
Naples traffic is the 81 Papa, departing on runway 06 via Cockpit 6 Tango.
That's going to look like a beautiful departure, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to be facing... why does it say Quebec? Quebec's not right, is it? No, it's actually Tango Sierra, but... okay, we're going to be facing to the east.
Locking gear.
Naples traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 5-4, pushing back, facing east on Tango Sierra for taxiing, departure runway 24.
Release parking brakes.
Okay, so let's get the beacon lights on, transponder on.
Release parking brakes.
Okay, hold your horses. And the before start checklist. So parking brake is on, takeoff data has been confirmed, windows are closed, EFB is on flight mode, doors are closed and
Release
armed,
parking brakes.
beacon light is on. Okay, okay, parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
Right, get the cabin pack on. Get too stuffy back there. Engine mode selected to ignition then and starting engine 1. Goodbye to my fellow Easyjet. That's quite a nice view to see as we go. Peter DR, good afternoon to you. That is a real great rumble of the engines, isn't it? Mitch, thank you so much for your resub tier 1 for 9 months. Really appreciate that, Mitch. Thank you so much. Leanne, I live in the bus store. Yes, it's great, isn't it? Peter, you extend the time range GSX to 5 minutes instead of 30 seconds. Oh, what? Is that for the...
381 Papa, passing 2300, passing...
Parking brake set?
Correction, climb to flight level 370.
Starting engine 2.
Unlocking gear.
Peter, is that for the voice calls that they give you? Yeah, I probably should do that. Aero, yeah, I said that right at the start. I'm going to try something a little bit later. I don't have any other cameras. I was never set up to stream like we are doing, but I am going to have a look at something once we're airborne. It might work, it might not work. It might just show you how messy my desk really is.
Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
If the air supply fails, masks will drop.
So Andy 883, yeah, Leanna's basically explained that for you now. Oh, I'll tell you what I haven't done.
Nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust.
Yeah, so standard operating procedure in this orange airline is start engine number 1 first.
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together. And pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow.
Okay, so engine number 2 has started and is happy.
We also carry flotation aids for children.
APU off, bleed not required.
Down, window blinds open.
On the spoilers, zero the flaps. Zero the flaps. Zero the rudder. Flaps 1. And 32.5. We just pretty much slap bang in the middle. And the after start checklist, anti-ISR, VCAM status is checked, pitch trims 32.5% and rudder is neutral. Flight control check, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, and full left. Naples traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxi into runway 24 via Tango Sierra and holding at Golf. So we've had no change to our performance, full length departure, dry figures, no Q&A change, no LMCs. Engine out procedure is non-standard, 3,500 feet after we've departed, then it's direct to East Kia, we will enter the hold. The departure is straight out with a right-hand turn, max speed 185 knots, noise abatement 2. And our initial climb is 6,000 feet. PTDR, so the tropopause is found on the Easyjet operational flight plan. It's you need to set the operational flight plan to the Easyjet layout. It basically has it there. Top right hand side of the first page. Hello.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is secured for takeoff.
Thank you.
I'll get the crew seated and secured as soon as you give us the word.
We'll be departing very shortly, so if you want to sit down now, please.
No problem.
Zero, good spot. I thought I'd turn that off. I'd have probably noticed that when we turned the TCAS on. God, this Neo rolls fast. So the taxi checklist, flight controls have been checked. Flaps setting is config 1 FMA, climb nav blue 1 FD2, 6000 blue, radar and predictive wind shear is on, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, AFB is stowed. Clouds just started to drop a little bit, covering the tops of those hills, isn't it? Sunset departure. I can't remember the last time we did one of these. Okay, not heard anyone on radio, can't see anything, so that approach path looks clear. So, Naples, traffic Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is lined up via Golf, runway 24. Okay, lineup checklist then in a second. Let me just get us sorted. Okay, so cabin secured for takeoff runway full length 24, TCAS, TARA, packs 1 and 2 off. Richard, thanks for being here, mate. Hope you're not working too hard. Okay then guys, let's go. Take off. The cabin sounds very noisy today. 50% stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex. SRS runway auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust set. V1. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav. Oh, look at that sunset. I was going to put autopilot 1 on there. Hang on. No, I can press the button. Old habits die hard. That's interesting. Why are we still in man flex? We should be in speed mode. That's very interesting. What's going on here? Okay, speed holding 185. Okay, auto thrust off. Auto thrust re-engage. Thrust climb, climb. There we go. What was thrust reduction and acceleration value? It was a lot lower than that. Not quite sure what went off there. Okay, packs, we need to get those sorted. So okay for the time being. Just checking that aircraft's flying fine, which it is. Let's get that one. Cancel master caution. We'll get the other one in 10 seconds or so, so we don't make the passengers uncomfortable. Speed out star, okay, 11,000 feet. Open climb, thrust climb, open climb. And 110 blue. Okay, so we're now clear of the train. I'm going to go direct to our next waypoint, which is Galti. So I'll go direct to Galti, which is over there somewhere, which means that we can push for managed speed, start to accelerate away and clean up. Nox gaming, no, the flaps don't affect that. Now we're past airspeed though, the flap zero spoils disarmed. No, not quite sure why we didn't get the thrust reduction. That was a bit strange. Not had that issue before. Okay, and flight level 290 blue. Oh wow, that is so easy. Using the new mini FCU unit. Right, so we're going to pop our cost index of 0 in there. Radna page, we shall clear out. I shall also clear out the fixers page because we don't need the engine out holding point anymore. And seatbelt signs can come off as well. Cabin crew could also be released. Cabin crew released. They were probably wondering why on earth weren't we released sooner. Normally they get released much sooner than that, but we were a little bit distracted with the FMAs not doing what we'd expect them to be. Joseph, the flight is about 1 hour 40 minutes in total. Why are the strobes off?
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the trip.
And flight level 390. And the sun is setting on Naples. We're off to Greece, Mykonos to be exact. So, we'll get to the top of climb, we'll do our usual fuel check, we'll do the en route weathers, that kind of thing. But other than that, should be pretty straightforward this flight. The landing will be interesting. That's not quite as straightforward as normal. Joseph on Google Maps, it says 6 hours. Is that driving it? Yeah, it's not a long flight from Italy to Greece. Yes, there was a boat indeed. Yeah, there it is. There's a couple of boats actually. One down there, one down there. Loving this reflection. And you might have to just rewind the stream back about 10 seconds. Can you see the winglet bouncing, casting the shadow? That is a shadow of the wing bobbing up and down. This thing here. And that is what I think was just casting the shadow on the displays there. That was awesome. Not seen that before. Joseph, Manchester to Paris is a nice flight. It's about, what, 1 hour? Something like that. Maybe an hour and 10 flight time. This is the time in the simulator that just looks stunning, doesn't it? Can you just tell me, guys, in the chat, what is the what's the audio like? The engines actually sound really loud in my headphones, so I don't know if that's if they're a bit overbearing. You'll just have to let me know. Joseph, I use the Thrustmaster TCA Captain's Pack, so I've got the Thrustmaster Airbus side stick. Bomb Tech sounds good to you. Delta Magic, good to you. Excellent stuff. Ace, good evening. Or good afternoon, rather. I feel like it's later than it actually is. It's only just gone 3:30 where I am. bit late finishing flight in one of Europe's smallest passenger airline. Peoples. They are more an air dot as they have only one plane, Embraer 170 based at St Gallen. Where did you fly to and from then, Ace? Knox, I remember. Is that still a thing? We discovered that live in a flight, didn't we? I remember. Keeping the payload page can have performance issues. Let's get rid of that. Did they ever fix that? Because that was a while ago. That. Someone asked me. I'm sure someone asked me what I got my expedite button mapped to. That is a good question. It's mapped to flight directors. A St Gallen to Vienna, which is their only route at the minute. Oh well, that sounds fun. Vienna's a nice scenic approach. Oh, well, if you're enjoying being with us this afternoon, please do me a massive favour and just hit that like button. For me, it's a great way to support the channel, free of course. Thank, do you need to be good at maths to be a pilot? No, not really, not these days. I mean, the software sort of in the aircraft does everything for you, but it's good to be able to know simple things, obviously. Situational awareness of sort of where you are is easier, I think, if you can understand the sort of basic principles of a circle, you know, the degrees and things. And then the 3 times table is probably the biggest thing you need to know maths wise. Yes, Dark, you absolutely need to let me know when you're going to do some ground controlling on where you can go, etc. Because we're going to come. We're going to come for you, Dark. So for those of you that don't know, the channel legend Dark Fury has been granted his initial S1 rating on the VATSIM network in the UK. So he's now able to control. It's just ground, isn't it, Dark, that you can control? Which means that, well, we can come and we can come and give him some traffic. Got the sun setting beautifully behind us. Quick look outside. There she is. How's that look? What a view. Eliana, I've got to mess the ground up for what? Push back and face in the wrong direction. No way, he'd just leave me there till the end. The stream would just consist of me being sat on the ground, going nowhere. That is a gorgeous view. Absolutely beautiful. I always think Easyjet aircraft look greater in the sunrise and sunsets, just because they're orange anyway. Lemon, yeah, Dark would just be absolutely waiting for that, wouldn't he? Well, when you've got a moment, I've got a number for you to call. Yeah, that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Just look at those high pink clouds, stars starting to come out. This simulator never fails to amaze me. Thang, if I crashed the plane, would the stream end? No, we'd sit there and laugh at me. As happened in Vega once. Old man, can you also map the localizer button as you never use it? Yes, you can. So the only reason you'd use the localizer button if you were doing a lock-only approach, or if the glide slope was inactive for whatever reason. To be honest, mine's locked to the flight directors because I'm more likely to turn the flight directors off. Oh, that's an interesting announcement. Dark, when are we going back there? Who knows? Who knows? So, obviously we've got the mini FCU, which I can't wait. I really hope they see it through with the mini EFIS, because that is just going to be absolutely amazing to have sat on the desktop. That would be fantastic. So yeah, I can use my expedite button to turn off the flight directors there, look. And then they're back on. Flight directors 1 and 2. So it does them both as well, which is very important. You'd never ever, I can't think of any situation where you'd have one flight director on and one flight director off. Dark, since you're still waiting for your flight, yes, which you purchased, because the A380 has not yet been released, can we go back to Vega instead? Can't we go somewhere with nice weather? Joseph, you had to screenshot the picture because of how beautiful it was. It did look nice. I would imagine that sun's probably disappearing. Oh no, the sun's still there. Just. Ari, you've been watching all the reviews on the mini FCU. Shame you didn't get it in the Kickstarter. That's it. And people have been asking me why haven't I told them how much it actually costs. And the answer to that is I actually don't know. I don't know what the price is going to be once it's released, because at the moment they're just clearing the backlog orders, aren't they, of the Kickstarter? Because what was the price of the Kickstarter? Was it £99, I think? Which I think for its functionality, okay, you can say the functionality of it is pretty standard stuff. I mean, it's not, is it? It's all the push pulls, the rotaries, and all that things. I mean, and that. From a simple functionality point of view, I guess those in the know could probably make one for less. However, what you probably couldn't do for less is the absolute quality of the dials and things. So when you're looking at the numbers, the numeric sort of quartz display kind of thing, they just look unbelievably good. So realistic compared to the real thing. You can feel the dials; they all feel slightly different, as they should do. The engraving, you can run your finger over the engraving of the little blue triangle there. Yeah, it's just really nice. Beautifully backlit as well. Which I'm going to turn up actually in here because we're going to be getting dark soon. Was it £80 for the early backers? So that was for the first. How many was that, AVA? I can't remember how many orders that was. But didn't they sell out in like 2 minutes? It was ridiculous. Oh, old man, so it was $99 US, so about £80 at the time for 1,000 orders. Thank you, old man. So yeah, for the quality of the front plate and the numerics display alone, that is an absolute steal. And as I say, it's just fractionally smaller than the real FCU, which I suppose if you're sitting it on a desktop is exactly what you want. Nox Gaming, have I given the inner builds a go? No, because I don't have the beta build. I don't fly the beta Microsoft Flight Simulator just because, well, I don't. There you are. Goodbye, sunset. that's that. Down it goes. Loving that reflection. That's the reflection of the shield there. I'm going to have to turn the lights down a little bit. It's starting to get a bit dark, so I'll turn the lights down so it's not too overbearing. Well, that was an interesting bug. They were set to off, but yet they were still on. There we go, so it looks a bit better. Turn that down as well. Yeah, Leander, so it's 80% of the size. Sorry, I didn't get it exactly right, but for me, 80% is, you know, it's fractionally smaller. If it was 50% the size, then, you know, it's really small, isn't it? But 80% compared to the real thing, I'll take that. Right, so we are now at our cruise, so hot TCAS to below. We shall go to our nominated cost index for today's flight, which was 8. Let's just check everything's working, which I'm sure it will be in this fly-by-wire aircraft. Don't think it has any random faults. Fuel adds up, so we're not leaking fuel all over Italy. Lovely. And nothing's burst on the overhead either. CD Water, is the Phoenix A320 worth €50? It's worth more, to be honest. It's definitely worth more. Okay, so let's do a fuel check. Where are we? We're inbound robot. And we took about 1.2 tons extra of fuel, maybe a bit less. So where's robot on here? So sure, about 4.6 tons of fuel. We get there, 4.7. Yeah, that's fine. That works out okay. Where's that moon? The moon's not risen yet, has it? Give us some light as we're flying at night time. So, in terms of en route weathers then, let's have a look. Let's see. En route weathers work here, don't they? In the fly-by-wire aircraft. They don't in the Phoenix. At the moment. At least I don't think they do. Unless they fixed it. We'll have a look at Lati. Which is that Tirana? So for en route weathers, you're usually looking at sort of major airports, somewhere you can dive into if you need to. FlyByWire as well. Easyjet also fly to. And we will have a look actually at Athens, because that is our nominated alternate, so we'll send those off, see what happens. Servant, if you want to buy the Phoenix A320, don't worry about compatibility with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, because it will be compatible. Microsoft have basically said that everything that works in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 will work pretty much instantly in 2024. So, that is indeed good news. Lemon, is that Yorkshire tea? Oh! Yes. It is indeed. What's my first officer drinking? He's also drinking Yorkshire tea. Right, that company message has come through. So, received messages, got the metals. Yeah, they're working. Print that off. Let's have a look. Thang, what costs the most in the A320 parts? Oh, no idea, but off the top of my head, probably the engines. Right, so we got Tirana. It's raining, but the winds are okay, so that's all right. Mykonos winds are variable 2 knots. Perfect, that's what we want. Is that Brindisi? Well, it might be Barry. It's either Barry or Brindisi, I can't remember which, but either way, that's fine as well. And Athens is also looking good. So all the weathers are fine for us today. Bradley's shipping email came through today for the mini FCU, a bit pricey, but it's on its way. So everyone's got a different price, haven't they, for shipping the units, depending on whereabouts in the world they live. The USA, I've got it okay. Those in the UK, not so much. Christian, hello. How are you doing, good friend? Hope you're having a good time. Alright, I am going to try and set something up. Just 1 second. This might work, this might not work. This might be a total disaster, but we're going to try it anyway. So, if this works, great. If not, then sorry you had to see it. Okay, let me see if I can get this on screen for you. So I'm literally just casting from my phone here. 1 minute. So this is the unit. This is the FCU unit. As I say, just ignore my kind of phone image, but yeah, this is it. This is what I'm currently using to fly the aircraft. I don't know, I can't zoom in really too much on this, but try and get the details of all of these. And the fact you can sort of feel what these are like, complete with sort of the 3 lines of the autopilot display, of the push buttons. And then just the way the figures look, how they've sort of carved out to make sure that the sort of the matrix screen is exactly like the real thing. And that's it, Sean. It is very crisp. It's a lot crisper than this image is giving it credit for, to be fair. This is just a poor sort of screencast thing that I'm doing there, but it is incredibly good. Very solid. It's sort of stuck to my desk with the stickers at there. It's not mounted or anything, but it's not heavy. It is not heavy in the slightest, so you can't just rely on the weight of it. Like my side stick is literally just, it's not screwed down or anything, but the Thrustmaster TCA side stick is absolutely solid in terms of its weight. so I don't need to screw that down, but this box doesn't weigh much at all. So you do need to, really could probably be doing with fixing in place. So if I am using sort of the push-pull functions of it, then I do like put my hand on top just to push it and pull it, etc. So this is a metal casing. This is all metal. This front bit, however, this is plastic, and it really doesn't matter. Oops. There we go. It really doesn't matter too much. The only thing that you can see sort of on the edges is, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of light bleed just coming through at the top. I mean, sat where I am, you can't see that. So, but yeah, there's a little bit of light bleed just coming through. How far in can I get there? That's it. You can just see that a little bit. But there it is. What batch number was I have no so it's at the back, was it? I think this is the 17th unit off the production line, I think. Something like that. Ethan, will I try the A320 by inner builds? I will when it's out of the beta. Yes. We'll have a look at it then. Right. I'll get rid of that. How much was my setup? In total? It depends how much you're talking about, really, I guess, with regards to the PC itself and such. Hey, Goofy, good to see you. Amy, do I play on this game? Game? We'll let you off. Do I play on this simulator daily? I wish I had time to. At the moment, there's stuff going off in my life which is preventing it. But for those of you wondering, the FO is not doing too bad with his busted leg. And he has managed to stop throwing up now as well, so at least we're managing to get the drugs in him, so there's hope for him yet for a few weeks, God bless him. I keep coming downstairs every morning and just wondering when I open the door to see him, oh, what's today going to bring? Bradders, that's the thing, it's the tax, isn't it? You can understand £43 shipping from Hong Kong or wherever it is made, but the tax, when you throw that in, it's just so expensive. AV8, thank you for that. So he's not doing bad at all, given the current condition he's in. He's still happy. He'd still run around if we let him. Hello?
Sorry for the intrusion. I was just wondering if you'd like a drink.
Oh, yes, I'll have a tea, please.
No problem. I'll get it for you now.
Leanna, guess George doesn't sleep with us. Well, you say that, Leanna. No, he doesn't. But since he doesn't, and he never has. But when we were told a couple of weeks back that he's not got long left, sadly, due to his body no longer producing blood, we were told he'd have 2 or 3 days, you know, and that was it. Anyway, after responding well to treatment, that went up to a week. Continuing with the good treatment, that went up to 3 weeks. And so, but those first few days, he did sleep with us because we just didn't want him out of our sight, to be honest. We just wanted to be with him. So, yeah, we let him sleep with us in our room. Although he did abandon us, he just went and slept on the landing. I don't think he wanted to share a room with us. However, then, after things started getting better for him, and the steroids were doing their job. Excuse me. Hello?
Hi, Captain. Your drinks are ready. They're in the storage area, so feel free to flex them whenever you're free.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so the steroids were doing their job, and he was, you know, living his best life, eating my steak and my wife's chicken, that kind of stuff. He then went and busted his leg, didn't he, chasing the cat, which he loves to do. And the cat actually doesn't mind it either. They're as bad as each other. So when he sort of like busted all his leg up, we then had a bit of an issue because, well, he couldn't get up and downstairs. So the last thing we wanted was to let him sleep upstairs with us. And then in the middle of the night, whilst we were asleep, him deciding, oh, come on, I want to go downstairs, and off he trots, kind of thing. And who knows what we'd have woken up to. So we had put him back into the kitchen downstairs. And then when he started throwing up, at least downstairs he's got a hard floor, which makes things easier to clean. And we have just had a new carpet in the bedroom, so that, as much as we loved him, it was a bit of a no-no. But thankfully he seems to have stopped. Throwing up, so thank God for that. Have you ever been on a Cessna citation? No, is the answer to that. Been in 152s and 172s several times. I had some really sad news today from someone that I know. Sadly, her cat wasn't very well this afternoon, so she decided to take it to the vet. It was just meowing quite a bit, and it seemed to have a little bit of struggle swallowing, or so it looked like. Took her to the vet, and the vet told her she'd been poisoned and needed to be put down. That's just come out of nowhere. I can't imagine what my poor friend's going through with that. Well, do you know what? I can now, given the diagnosis we got for poor George a couple of weeks back, and that, I think, has hit me more than anything else. The fact that in the past, if someone had told me that they've lost their cat, they've lost their dog, or lost their whatever, anything that they loved, I'd sort of nod my head sympathetically, and so I'm really sorry, that's a shame. But I couldn't empathise because I've never been in that position until 2 weeks ago, when, as most of you know, we found out about my beloved FO George, and I got it. I absolutely got it, and I now know how hard it is losing a pet, which I'm pretty certain in the last couple of weeks I've cried more for this dog than I have family members. Thank you, are correct. The stars in Microsoft Flight Simulator are indeed mapped exactly as they are in real life. So if we'll look hard somewhere over here, we'll probably see Orion. The phases of the moon are also correct as well. So they are incredibly good. Now, changing the topic slightly, I'm going back to tea. There's a reason I'm going back to tea, because I'm just going to nip and go and grab one, which I made earlier, but I've left in the kitchen. So you all know I drink Yorkshire tea. You all know that I like my jam and toast flavoured tea. However, this afternoon I took a punt and I had something different. Now I actually can't remember if it's Aldi or Lidl's. I'll go and have a look for you in a minute. It was Aldi or Lidl's own, but it was, and I've not seen this before, Jaffa cake tea. So I'm going to leave that to you, chat, just while I disappear for 60 seconds and grab my cuppa. Let me know in the chat, Jaffa cake tea, would that be something you'd want to try or not? I'll be back in a minute. And back with you. Oh my god, it's chaos out there. There's like 9 kids. Only 4 of them are mine. Clear to land, hello. Welcome welcome to the stream. Yeah, so Jaffa Cake Tea. Old Man Shag says, sounds a bit sweet. Lemon, I think it might be Aldi. With all the chaos that I've just walked into out there, I just needed to get back ASAP. I wasn't staying there. I forgot to check. I think it's Aldi. Yes, Sean, I do have a sweet tooth. I absolutely have a sweet tooth. Robert, you're on your way to Mykonos as well. Excellent, from Berlin. That's quite a long flight, that, isn't it? Lemon Wolf, 9 kids, what's going on? I know, it's like a creche in our house. Wednesday is a day, actually, that they tend to... loads of kids just come to ours from school for various reasons. You know what it's like if you've got kids and parents working, so we kind of take a day each, but after school and such, which is why I quite proudly said I'd got to volunteer to come and stream instead. get out of the way. Oh man, I hope I never dipped my jam and toast in my tea. No, I haven't. I do like jam and toast. I quite like jam and toast tea as well. Is it illegal to drink and fly? It's not illegal to drink tea. Maybe some special sort of exotic teas it might be, but if you're talking about alcohol, yes, absolutely it is. Bumtech got a baseball team. Yeah, but like I said, they're not all mine. Only just under 50% of them are mine. Dean, how do I get away with playing Flight Simulator when there's 9 kids in the house? Because, Dean, I'm locked away in the office and my wife's here with a couple of other mothers as well, so... The kids all entertain each other upstairs, out the way playing, and they just sit and drink tea. Which is now what I'm doing with you guys, effectively. Right, should be on the ground in a little under an hour, I think. Yes. Clearly you decided to fly Oslo to Liège. Oh, which aircraft and which airline? Bumtech, I must have married the old woman in the shoe. I am not going to tell her that, Bumtech. Although my wife does have a lot of shoes. Frubat, celebrating 9 months of captain level channel membership. Frubat, thank you so much. Says you could have had a kid yourself in this time. 9 months, yeah, quite right too. I don't recommend it. Well, maybe 1. Stop at 1. Don't do what we did and decide to have a second, because you might end up with 4. Yeah, Bumtech, if I don't stream for a while, it's because it's nothing to do with the first offer, it's because I told the wife and I'm in hospital. Ooh, there's the moon now. I thought I saw a bit of a reflection up there. There it is. Ah, we're turning. I'm about to miss the moon. No, it's gone. Well, we don't get to see too much, do we? We're covered with cloud. Yeah, moon's up there somewhere. Quick look on VATSIM. Ooh, got no air traffic control knocking around. Ah, that's a shame. I suppose everyone's busy having their tea at this time, aren't they? So what is everybody's plans for this evening? I say this evening because local time where I am, it's just coming up to 4:15 in the afternoon. So yeah, what's your guys' plans for the rest of the day, however long that may be? Anyone waking up really early in Australia or New Zealand? I would imagine you've got a nice day of work ahead of you. Or you could be retired as well. That's having different ways to spend the day. Oh, perfect. That tea is just the right temperature. This is just a normal Yorkshire tea though. This isn't an exotic Jaffa cake tea, but I will be having another one of those later. Highly recommend that. Sadly, it's not Yorkshire tea though. Now, if Yorkshire tea made a Jaffa cake tea flavour, then that would be very nice. Selim, have I tried the Inabuild A320 No, I haven't, because I don't have the beta build. I've never had any interest in the beta build, particularly as I like to, stream on here as often as I can. The last thing I want to do is something which may jeopardise that and break it. So, Lemon Wolf, you're downloading all the world updates. How long does that take? I have recently been deleting some of the world updates because there's just parts of the world that I don't fly in. So I don't fly in Japan. I don't really fly in Australia. I'm keeping the America on there, although that's huge. And obviously I keep it everywhere in Europe, for example. Oh God, Fruit Bat, that sounds horrible. You'll be figuring out your electricity bill. They've decided to finally charge you after 12 months of free electricity. How have you got free electricity for a year? Wow. Are they they're not making you pay for the last 12 months, are they? Because I can't even begin to imagine what that bill would look like. That would be eye-watering. God. Fruit Bat, they never billed you and you didn't tell them. But they're not coming after you and say you've been stealing from them, surely. Not if it was their mistake. I mean, technically, I'm no legal expert, maybe someone in the chat is, but I think technically they could still do that, couldn't they? I hope for your sake they're not. Otherwise, we might need a whip round for you. It sounds very expensive. Sounds like a very expensive bill. Xperia, what's the flight time for today? Flight time was 1 hour and 40 minutes. 1 hour 40. We're 49 minutes into the flight, so we're going to start prepping for arrival soon. I'm just enjoying a bit of a cup of tea for a moment. And then the arrival we have to think about a little bit. Particularly as we can't use final approach mode in this aircraft. So, I'm going to do the RNAV approach. We have the choice of the VOR approach or the RNAV approach. Go for RNAV. Which is fine actually. We'll use track FPA. For this approach, and then it's a visual approach. Oh, there it is. I told you. Circling to runway 16 during daytime only. No, I couldn't find that earlier. It was right in front of me. It is this airport. I knew there was an airport around here that we couldn't circle to land in the at night, and this is it. So, let's check what's the latest weather doing. Yeah, we're just slightly over halfway, look. 030, oh, hang on. Oh, winds are non-existent. Fine. That was half an hour ago. Fruitbat, they've charged. They have 12 months to bill. They caught up with you after 11 months and 28 days. Ouch. Money's been sitting in a bank earning interest anyway, so it's not a panic. A certain 8-legged company. I actually don't know who that is. Spider Electricity? Is that a company? Lemon, did I ever get a chance to find Monaco BMI in the past? Yes, both. Yep. Christmas is indeed on the way, Thang, and of course we will be doing a special Santa flight today, a full day stream, and normally we go to Romney Airy, don't we? Well, not this year. Easyjet have opened a new route, so we're going to be flying that one instead, up to Lapland, and hopefully we'll have loads of giveaways for you and things like that, so it's going to be, yeah, should be a good do. I think last year we gave away a Captain's Pack, Thrustmaster Captain's Pack as well, so there were some epic prizes. You definitely don't want to miss that when we announce it. Darfur, the new route, is it a Kita? I can't remember what the damn thing's called. You know where I mean, don't you? Oh, Matthew! Yeah, of course. Spider energy. Just someone says an 8-legged creature. What's the first thing that comes into your head? Funnily enough, octopus wasn't there with me. Thang, have I ever flown a Cessna 172 before? Yes, I have. I couldn't be one of these delivery pilots of Cessnas that fly for like 6 hours straight on these things because, oh my god, the concentration. I mean, obviously you can trim your aircraft to a certain degree, but with no autopilot you're constantly having to correct. Aviation crew, hello! Right, well with that, let's start setting up for our approach then, shall we? So we know we are going to be doing this approach. So we need to check the coding first off to make sure that's all correct. Thang, how will I celebrate Christmas? I'll celebrate it when the kids are in bed and the wine is flowing. We're going to come in from Bismo, there it is, so we want Bismo beep, then 512, 510, 508. We need to be 2,000 feet at 510, so that's our platform altitude. Runway visual range is above 2,400 meters, so yep, that's fine. MSA as we're coming is 37 and 5,000. Minimum is 1180. That's fine. Mykonos, VOR, Mike Kilo November. So, coding is all well and good there. Radnar page. Mike Kilo November. Pop that in. It's not an offset approach, this, is it? $7,000 feet at Varix and sorry, not Varix, 7,000 feet at Bismo, and then 3,000 feet there. So what we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4,000 feet to lose in 14 miles. Okay, that's all right. As long as we're not racing ahead, we can get down. Yeah, it's not an offset approach, so that's okay. As it's not a daft offset approach or anything like that, then we can leave the flight directors engaged for this. That is until Oh no, it's okay. I was thinking we were doing the VOR approach. We're not doing the VOR approach. If we were doing the VOR approach, we'd fly this in track FPA. The moment we turn the autopilot off, we have to turn the flight director off as well. But we're not doing that, so that's okay. So transition altitude 6,000 feet. Final track is 337. Airfield elevation 389. Missed approach information 3,500 feet. Tractor 590 after flying runway 34. And then back basically holding at Mykonos. Okay. Max speed 210. Okay, so what I might do then, as we don't have the go around procedure coded in here, what we'll do instead is, if we go to the fixed info page, we will put in Mike Kilo 594, which is this one over here. Just so we've got somewhere to sort of aim for on the navigation display should we need to go around. And then we can just have another go. Hey Eastbirds, how you doing? Good to see you. Clitland, can you ask a question about go around and rejected landing flyby? Yes, of course you can. Yep, certainly. So when we get to top of descent, we're going to select flight level 110, which we need to be at or above it. And we come in a bit of Bismo, which we've already said 7,000 feet, so yeah, that's fine. I will do a full briefing in a minute. I'm just basically gathering my information and then I can brief it properly. Need that. That's what I need. I think we'll get off at Alpha 1, probably. Oh, it's a 30-meter wide runway. Ooh, right, okay, well, that's captain's only then. And the actual backtrack runway ends 40 meters per vicinity. Okay, so we need to backtrack, or rather, if we need to backtrack, we have to use the turning circles at the end. That's fine. Right, how long is this runway? It is 1902. Let me have a look and see if we can actually land. I'm sure we can. Oh, actually, full data from the METAR. Right, so that's everything. Runway elevation, we've said, is 389. Runway heading is 337. It is dry. Runway slope, I've got no idea, but SimSmart will. 1 second, reset that. LGMK. 34. Uphill, so it's 0.1. Landing distance available 1902. It's not a long runway, is it? Approach speed will be need to fill out the box for that, but that is probably going to be around. Well, let's fill in the. Oh, why can't I move? There we go. Let's fill in the box to get the VAP speed. So QNH is currently 1013. Temperature is 19 degrees. Wind is 3400. There's no reported winds. Minimums were 1180. And config full for landing. So VAP is 127. That's low. Call it 130. And our landing weight is going to be, what are we at? 54.6, 4, 5, 6, 7, call it 57.6. Overweight, no. Versus no. Autoline, no. And calculate. Okay. Water brake medium. We can land. Clear to land from what you see, the go-around isn't automatically entered into the McDo in the A320NX like the Boeing aircraft. No, it's not. It is in the real aircraft, though, so if you're flying the Phoenix A320, that replicates it absolutely fine like the real aircraft. But it is not yet done in the fly-by-wire aircraft, no. Kelly56, hello. Why do I think the A320 could make fly-by-wire stop working on this aircraft and focus more on the A380? I honestly don't know, Juan. I honestly don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it. But I know we all want the 380, myself included. Myself included. That cloud cover's now changed, hasn't it? So we get some beautiful view of some terrain beneath us, which is nice. Aorta, I've not tried it because I don't have the beta build, so no. Right, I think we are all set up now for the approach, so we can look to brief it in full. So let's go and do that then. So. Approach briefing, weather for the arrival is fine. We've got no winds, we've got no problems with our visibility either. We've got a few clouds, 3,000 feet, but we're obviously going to be below those when the final descent point comes. Sorry, 2,000 feet, so we're going to be about that, but visual-wise, we're going to be absolutely fine. The approach, we're above the minimums, so that's fine. We're legal to start the approach. Nothing wrong with the aircraft's all working fine. The only thing to remember, we're doing an on-nav approach, but we can't use final approach mode, so we are going to have to use track FPA, which I'll go through in a moment. No node times that are going to affect us tonight. Threats to be aware of: a little bit of terrain to the right hand side at the north as we land. I say to the right hand side as we're coming in, so it's just there. We'll see it as we're coming in, I'm sure. So that's the main thing. If we have an issue, then don't fly into this, to put it bluntly. So yeah, that's a little threat. The other threat is the high workload of the approach, because we're using track FPA for landing. We're not using the approach mode because we can't in this aircraft. This aircraft isn't capable of doing that just yet, like the Phoenix aircraft. So high workload and that little bit of terrain there is probably our two biggest threats. So we are planning to land on our approach on to runway 34. The approach will begin at the key VOR. When we get to top of descent, we'll select flight level 110, and then we want to be at Bismo at 7,000 feet when we get to Bismo. From Bismo, then the plan. Just get rid of this chart because we're not using it. The plan will be then at Bismo, 7,000 feet, we're going to get down to 3,000 feet, MK512. We're going to be green dot as we, I think green dot as we get to Bibic, or Bicby would be advisable. That way we can start configuring. So flaps 1 there, flaps 2 here at 510. We need to be 2,000 feet, so 2,000 feet flaps 2 allows us then to make sure we're nice and slow. I'm going to have the gear down as well before we start the final descent, because the final descent point is only just under 5 miles away from the touchdown, so 5 miles, I want gear and I want to be configured. So this is going to be 510. We want flaps 2 before then, so then we're going to get gear down. Flaps 3, flaps 4, and then we will, at 0.3 miles from Mike Kilo 508, we will pull for the 3-degree descent using my new mini FCU unit. Yeah, we do that 0.3 miles before this waypoint to allow the aircraft to establish itself on that flight path angle, and we should be nice and visual. Once we're happy, autopilot comes off, and as we will be in track FPA mode, autopilot will come off and flight directors will come off as well. Very important. We don't want to be in track FPA mode, no autopilot, and the flight directors on, for reasons which we've spoke about before on this channel, and also seen in a video that I did about an aircraft a few years ago that was that got into trouble because of that. So that's how I plan to fly the approach. We'll go through the box then. We're going to use ultra brake medium, and the flight plan, as you can see, we've been through that. The coding's all fine. Radnav page is set up to Mykonos. We'll not fill this page out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Performance page, that's all set up as well. There we go. VAT 127. We're doing a fully config landing today. Got our landing weight all sorted. We've done the landing calculation. That's fine as well. The only thing is the once we've landed, if we can get off at Alpha 1, we will. If not, we've got to go to the end, backtrack, and then we'll come back in on Alpha 1, park somewhere in front of the terminal. If we have to go around, the plan will be just a standard go around, and then when we're happy, we're going to go make a left turn. We'll do a non-standard missed approach, because we haven't got that coded into the box, so we'll just aim for Mike Kilo 594, 3,500 feet, which is nice and safe. Okay. Briefing done, and I think we're pretty much at our top of descent. There we go, top of descent's reached, so we're going to go flight level 110, so thrust idle, open descent, 110 blue, down we go. Good night, Doc. Work well. Hello?
Hi, Captain. Just checking to see if everything is okay.
Everything's fine, thanks. We've just started the descent, so if you want to start preparing, we'll be landing shortly.
Great. If you need anything more, just give me a call.
And down we go. Kelly 56, how do I have custom views in the A320NX? I set them up myself, so yeah, custom views you set using the control. The left control Alt and then numbers 1 through to 0 on your keyboard, and then you recall them by pressing Alt and then the appropriate corresponding number. You can also set those to keybinds on a control device like this, so I can sort of move freely between them like that. Hold Navis, it is an early stram, yes. YGTDR, after taking a flight on the A320 FlyByWire Neo, changing the route on the second flight. It says the map is partially displayed and the route is not visible. Do I know the solution? I'm afraid I've not seen that problem, so I'm not really in the best place to try and help you with that. I've not come across it though. Giorgio the man, hello. Oh, I love this FCU. I just want that speed up there just to get us back on profile. So we're about 800 feet above the profile at the minute, but we can sort that out. Quite sure what's going on down here with some textures. Then I absolutely miss having an e-fish. Yeah, I just want to... The problem is I'm still grabbing my mouse to go and pull and dial and stuff like this because that's just what I'm used to. But yeah, stop flying with a mouse. That was the tagline, wasn't it? Kelly, the top of the descent is all set automatically in the aircraft once you've set up your flight route, etc. Kelly, what I would recommend is if you go onto YouTube and search for myself, Easyjet Sim Pilot, there are tutorials on all of this stuff and it'll help you, including how to set up cameras and things like that. Clear to land, how do you go about flying the go-around? So you need to just sort of be visually have spatial awareness and know what it is you've got to do. Now, I know if we've got to do a go-around here, then it's toga power, flaps 1 notch up, so we're going to be doing a full flap landing, so if we're going around, we're going to knock them to flaps 3. We then check on the FMAs to make sure that that we've got toga and shown there. And then once we are happy with that, we've got a positive rate of climb. You make sure you get the gear up. Don't forget the gear. That's probably one of the most common things people forget. And yeah, a go around is just a takeoff. It's exactly the same as the takeoff, but that shock factor is what sometimes makes people make mistakes, myself included. Manny, I should bolt the mini FCU to the desk. You're right, man. I absolutely should. That way it won't move. And that's Athens down there. That's a great view of Athens down there. Ladies and gentlemen, you probably noticed we started our descent now towards our destination, and we should have you safely on the ground in about 25 minutes or so. If you can start making your way back to your seats, the seatbelt signs will shortly be coming on, the toilets will be going out of use, and the cabin crew are going to now start preparing our aircraft for landing. Thank you for flying with us, and I'll speak to you again shortly. That's the PA done, let everyone know what we're doing. Oh, Kelly 56, thank you. I'm using it today for the first time in a proper flight, so yeah, really enjoying that. Aviation, how long do I know is how long's left of the flight? Because it tells me what time I'm going to land at my destination, just there. And that's 5 o'clock, and it's 16:43. That's the quickest way, anyway. Once again, if you've enjoyed our flight today, then please do leave a like. Then you find it tricky not to reach for them. I know! It's it's crazy, isn't it? All these years of flying with a mouse. Right, so we've got the plan, let's just now execute it. David Merrill, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. Italian Defenders Mini FCU not available yet. Well, it was. Remember, it was a it was a Kickstarter campaign, wasn't it? So they've now launched the product following an amazing Kickstarter campaign. And what's happening now is they're basically fulfilling all of those Kickstarter orders, and then after that they will start taking, if you like, proper orders in production, and then hopefully start working on the EFIS, the mini EFIS part, which well, I don't think I actually showed in the video or on stream earlier. There's a connection port on either side of the mini FCU, which I'm assuming at some point that might be what you connect the two up with, on either side, which would be nice. James Heath, have do a flight in the Naples A320 now. I will when it's made available properly. Queen's Anomaly, will they fix the mini FCU with the Phoenix? Remember, it's not mini FCU that need to fix things. It is the licensing issue with Phoenix and ProSim which don't allow the data to be exported out of it. So it's a Phoenix thing, it's not a mini FCU thing. Okay, 7,000. 7,000 blue, flight level 70 blue. Here we go, continue our descent. Hitesh, what's useless? Yeah, have to use a few more words. So max speed's 250 and 7,000 feet at Bismarck. That is exactly what we're aiming for at the moment. There we go. The thing you've got to remember as well with the Phoenix aircraft is, in real life, pilots don't look at the displays up here. Yes, they're there for reference sort of thing, but what is more important is the displays you've got here, because the displays you've got here are what the aircraft is actually doing. Okay, this could all be broken, this display could fail. That doesn't matter. What matters is what you've got set on here. So whatever you set on here, you've still got to confirm is on here anyway. So even if the, you know, I can quite happily fly the Phoenix using my mini FCU, controlling it and checking the, see the flight level down there just changing. Or the speed. Yeah, that's how it's done sort of in real life. That's so it's not a deal breaker not having them outputting this information. Hey DC, a glass of wine and a landing in Mykonos. Sounds good, doesn't it? Right, we're going to continue down 3,000 feet then. So, set local pressure, 1013. 3,000. And we'll set speed now 250 knots as we're coming up on 10,000 feet. Get the landing lights on. Approach checklists. So bar FQ&H is 1013. Seatbelt signs are on minimums. 1180. Auto brake medium, and EFB is stowed. So time to start concentrating on our approach then, it seems. Will I finish my cup of tea before this flight? Probably not. Right, so as we're going down now as well, let's activate the approach phase, so that's done. So I'm just altering my VS rate a little bit. So we want to be 3,000 feet when we get to 512 really. So we don't need to get down too quickly. You can see I'm just faffing about VS13. Let's just set that VS 900, VS 1000. Give us time to slow down as well. So I'm not happy with that. That needs to be sooner for me. Says we're below the profile at the minute. That's why we do our own calculations. That looks good. So we'll continue VS 110. 1100. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. So just at 1,400, our airport was on this island over here. Mykonos traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is now 13 miles north of Bigby on the INAV approach for runway 34, 6,600 feet. Right, start manage the speed and slow down green dot. Just need to bring that back so we can lose a bit of speed. In fact, put it to open descent. Thrust idle open descent. Aircraft over here. Not sure what he's doing. He's 5,000 feet beneath us, which is probably on the ground actually. I don't know if there's a over there perhaps. Looks very calm out there, doesn't it? No white capping on the sea. Jordan B, good evening, sir. Queens, I think Phoenix will license with the pro. Who knows? Is my answer to that, I'm afraid. Who knows? Horatio, good evening, sir. I'm very well, thanks, Horatio. I mean, enjoying my new toy, certainly. There's our airport, look. Doesn't look like there's any clouds over the island at all, does it? So, all looks fine. I can tell Bing Data's been turned off, as it was a little bit earlier, for some reason. This doesn't look... I mean, is it turned off? It doesn't really matter now, we're at night time. We've got a handcrafted airport, so I'm not going to faff around turning it on now. Yeah, Lemon, that's right. Got that network problem earlier on. I'm not sure if that was me or whether it was the servers. It happens, doesn't it, randomly? But yeah, as I say, flying nighttime. If we were flying daytime, I'd turn it on, but flying nighttime doesn't really matter, does it? So, VS 800. So remember, it was 3,000 feet here, 2,000 feet here, and configured. Yeah, it does, Lemon, that's it. That's why I won't do it. Just because it does indeed, as you say, it ruins that immersion, doesn't it? So there's no point. Shouldn't affect the handcrafted airport, though, so that's fine. Okay, so we want 2,000 feet to be set in a moment as we pass this waypoint. And we're going to start configuring now. So flaps 1, speeds checked, flaps 1. Set speed 180. As soon as we start to turn, we'll go for 2,000 feet. There we go. 2,000 feet. Set. 2,000 blue. Can't keep that in open descent. And flaps 2, so we get the drag out. Flaps 2. Speed's fine. Flaps 2. Will get us down where we need us to. There's a little hill that we saw on the chart earlier.
$2,500.
Radio altimeter's alive. Is brake medium on the FMA specific to the Neo? It all depends on what software the airline's got installed. The newer software, so like the newer Neos, etc., they have things like that shown. Amy, we're landing at Mykonos Airport, one of the Greek islands. Right, so we're at the platform altitude, 2,000 feet. We just need to start slowing down now. So I'm going to push for managed speed. That's done. We're now in track FPA mode up here. Let's start configuring the aircraft for landing then. Cabin crew seats for landing. So at 0.3 miles from this waypoint we're going to pull for the 3-degree descent, but we need to be configured for that because it's only 5 miles away from touchdown. So gear down, spoilers armed, flaps 3, speeds checked, flaps 3. So I'm going to set -3 and we'll pull that at 0.3 miles. Flaps full. In fact, I'll do flaps full in a second. 0.3 miles. There we go. Pull FPA 3 degrees. Flaps full. Now landing checklist. Before we do that, however, that is so much easier to set than missed approach altitude. So landing checklist, cabin secured, go around altitude is 3,500 feet. You can remember landing no boo. Mykonos traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is established. Runway 34, 5 mile final. So at 3 miles we should be 1,400. We're visual now, I could probably just disconnect and take over. That doesn't look too bad at all. So, autopilot disconnected, flight directors off, 337 track set, I have control.
Minimum.
Continue. Got 3 reds, but profile-wise, that's looking pretty
1,000.
good. We've got a 10 knot tailwind though. That wasn't predicted. Happy with the picture. I can see the touchdown zone, so we're just going to try and nail that in. Remember, it's a narrow runway, so you do get a bit of a false perspective compared to what we're used to.
400.
8 knot tailwind.
$50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Okay, so supposed to put first green, decel. Manual brakes, reverses off. Beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoke detector. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today.
So one of the frustrating things, I forgot to set the replay, but never mind.
Latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or Easyjet.
Remember, we weren't going for a butter landing, we've got a short runway to play with. We've got a short runway, we've got a narrow runway. We're not bothered about butter. We're bothered about making sure we're on the centre line and we're in the touchdown zone. We're not going to run out of runway. We're going to make a firm contact, get the speed brakes up, spoilers up, and stop before we run out. So that's pretty much the kind of approach that we wanted. If it really was 4-2-1, we'll take that. I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest, but never mind. The big thing that I got out of that personally, obviously you couldn't see it, but the big thing that I got out of that personally for me was that when I disconnected the autopilot, because we were using track FPA, and we had to muck about getting the flight directors off, setting the track of the runway, that kind of thing. That for me was so easy now using this mini FCU unit. Far easier than me having to fly the airplane, use my mouse to sort of be turning that off over there, twisting that round. Yeah, really nice to do it. So if you are on your way out, please don't forget to leave a like as you go. And we'll go and park up. Anyway, welcome to Mykonos. You can all have sangria this evening. Can't actually remember which stand we were going for now. Was it stand 5? Gate 5. Where's gate 5 then? I might have missed gate 5. Oh no. Looks like they're over there waiting for us. I actually have no idea. Should we just go should we go with gate 1 instead? Well, gate 2 will do. Gate 2. This one here. There we are. It could be Ouzo. Yes, of course. Sangria is Spanish. Ouzo for the Greek Isles. Right, just before we turn on stand, let's get the weather radar off. I mean, it's in op anyway, so that's not going to fry the ground crew, is it? Not that. Ah, come on. There we are. My right-hand engine then was stuck at about 25-30% N1. Not quite sure why that was. This, oh my god, this ground handler's going to wonder what the hell I'm doing. There we go, job done. Parking brakes set. And just get the light on. APU's up and running. Okay, so shutdown engine 1. Shutdown engine 2. Oh yeah, we can start deboarding. Beacon light can come off. Strobe light should be off. Why is that not off? There we are. External power is available. Excellent. Get that connected in. Bit of APU bleed for the passengers. Oh, and they're going to be looking forward to getting bused to the hotel in time for an evening meal and, well, absolutely a well-earned drink. So, that's it. What a much more realistic, but the biggest thing, easier flight that was. So many things where you'd have to, you know, we complain about click spots, don't we? Particularly in the Phoenix aircraft, we complain about click spots and that. They're not going to be an issue anymore with the FCU, with this new little device. It's just there, and it just works, which is brilliant. There's a full review video on it as well if you want to see that on the channel as well. But for me, hopefully it speaks for itself. I think one of the biggest pluses of the Mini FCU, for someone like me who isn't that technically minded with PCs and such, was just how easy it was to install. Plug the USB cable in, download the software that runs in the background, this thing here, the Mini, and you just run this before starting Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that is it. It's just there. There's nothing else to do. You don't have to set anything running. You don't have to configure anything. It's all done in the background, and that for me, I would pay handsomely for, because it makes a massive difference. So, thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed our flight this evening. It's been a pleasure to spend a couple of hours with you guys. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Of course, the next flight will be announced in due course on Discord. Have a great evening, everyone, and a massive thanks to all our Easyjet Sim Pilot channel members as well for your continued support, and our mods and everyone else for supporting us this evening. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll see you all again very soon. Good night.